If 10 billionaires choose to buy $5 billion or $1 billion or $2 billion worth of Bitcoin each, all of your models are irrelevant. All of your history is irrelevant. It's like everything you think you know how things are going to work out. And like, how about all the statistics of New York City for the past decade? How relevant are they to predict what happens in New York City this month?
Right.
Not relevant at all. So traders, I can't predict the future. Trading is not a way to make money, by the way, in my opinion. The people that make all the money are people that predict the future. Henry Ford, right? John D. Rockefeller, right? Andrew Mellon. What did they do? They invented aluminum. They invented oil. They brought us cars. They brought us electricity. Andrew Carnegie brought us steel. Mark Zuckerberg, not studying some statistical model. How did he get rich? He kept Facebook stock. He didn't sell it.
Right.
Jeff Bezos, he kept his stock. So at the end of the day, none of this statistics matters. None of the trading matters. None of the volatility matters.
마이클세일러는 비트코인이 100배 증가할 거라고 믿죠. 1000배 증가할 수도 있고요. 그렇게 되면요, 세일러는 비트코인 하나가 $10,000,000에 해당한다고 믿죠. 그래서 세일러는 비트코인으로 할 수 있는 가장 큰 실수는 비트코인을 거래하는 거라고 믿죠. 그는 구매 및 후반만이 유일한 전략이라고 주장합니다. 끝까지 잘 들으세요. 마이클세일러가 설명합니다.
Where Saylor breaks down how hundreds of private companies have reached out to him on how to convert their balance sheet into Bitcoin, and also why, once you understand Bitcoin, here's Michael Saylor on the future of Bitcoin.
These, people that are living in their little world, studying their Fibonacci retracements and preaching with like incredible conviction about the upcoming expected 60% retracement or 80% retracement, they're overlooking this fundamental issue, which is if Bitcoin is a digital monetary network, and if enough people with money and power decide to adopt it, it's going to go up and increase by a factor of 100 or 1,000, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. And its past is completely irrelevant to its future. And so, I think that too many people in this industry have been around too long, and they're captured by their past, and everybody wants to draw on their past because they own it. Well, again, speculators and traders manage to speculate about volatility and focus upon it, but investors and industrialists are more focused upon building something for the long term. And the fundamental critical issue to understand is Bitcoin is the most technically superior asset in the world right now, and it's running on the dominant digital monetary network, and that digital monetary network is growing and is spreading, and there's no reason to think it's not going to continue to spread. Was there a bear market in the internet? At what point did it make sense for the company to worry about a bear market in the internet? Like if you were given an interview to Jeff Bezos in the year 2000, you said, are you worried about the bear market in the internet? And his answer would be, I'm building a great online retailer and we believe in the future. So I believe in the future of Bitcoin. I believe the future of a digital monetary network. And I think it's just as important to humanity as electricity and running water and the automobile and steel and communications and the internet. And it's going to grow over time. And maybe there'll be good days and bad days, but we don't do things based upon whether or not we'll be up or down by the hour, by the day, or by the week. We do things because they're the right thing to do. So if you believe that the world will benefit from a thermodynamically sound monetary network, then you're going to invest in Bitcoin. You're going to build Bitcoin into your balance sheet. You're going to build it into your P&L. You're going to evangelize it, educate the world, and you're going to look forward to the journey. And if you don't, then you won't. I think it's a mistake, by the way, for any crypto traders or speculators to fixate upon speculating and trading this thing. It's going to be like trading Apple stock in the year 2010. It's like you might buy it for $1.15 and sell it for $1.27 and brag to your friends, or short it at $1.42 and cover your short at $1.13. But ultimately, you're going to look silly if 10 years later it's trading at $120 a share and someone's going to say, so you were doing what? You were making nickels when you could have actually made 100x or 1,000x that much money by actually investing in it? You think the people that
Plus
made
all
the
the
money
wasted
were...
time and energy.
Yeah, I mean, people shorting and trading and speculate in the short-term direction of General Electric or General Motors or, or Standard Oil. They're not the ones that you remember. You're reading about the people that are actually, Henry Flagler, Andrew Mellon, the industrialist, Andrew Carnegie. You're reading about the people that actually invested in the future, believed in the future, fought through the difficult time periods and held out for the long run. So you could call it hodling, but how about just commitment and conviction over the long term, right? And not being caught up in the near term. I mean, that's the strategy. And I can't imagine that no employee wants to work for a CEO without conviction. No customer wants to buy from a company that's not committed, right? No vendors or counterparties or nobody wants to do business with anybody that changes their opinions and blows with the wind day by day or week by week. So I think there are some people that can make money speculating this way and that and trading against bear markets. That's not the business of a technology company. A technology company needs to identify new technologies and find a way to invest in new paradigm-shifting technologies. And if you do it well, you'll grow and the world will be a better place. And if you guess wrong, then you suffer the consequences, and that's the free market. What I can tell you is I think a lot of companies will do this in the coming 12 months, and you'll start to see more announcements because it's an idea whose time has come. I've seen a lot of interest, and there's a lot of private company CEOs reach out to me, and they've already done it. They're just not making announcements. But this is actually more common. At least 100.
Oh, wow.
At least 100 that I know of.
And what size typically? Like small private companies or?
Sometimes $billion plus companies. I mean, billion, multi-billion, 500 million, 100 million. So there's a lot of companies in that sweet spot. Generally everybody talks to everybody, right? And so there's
the U.S. companies generally, or?
Well, I'm more familiar with the U.S. ones because I just have more connections here. But
and what types of industries
I don't think it's limited just to the U.S. I think that in Europe and the Far East and the Middle East, I think we're actually seeing people come in.
And what types of industries do they tend to be in?
Everybody's got money. It's just money, right? It's like the amazing thing about Bitcoin is it's just pure monetary energy. So everybody on earth that has any wealth to speak of or any assets to speak of has the same problem at the same time. And this is the solution to everybody's problem. It doesn't really matter what business you're in. Nobody's got a monopoly on that. I think that information is traveling a little bit more in the US right now because of the social networks, etc. But it's not limited to that I can see. I've had conversations with people in the Far East, Hong Kong, Singapore, London, Europe, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, South America, everywhere in the US. So there's a nonstop, continual set of inquiries, and I've seen a lot of them have acted. I think that we'll see more public companies. They're the higher hurdle because they have more due diligence, more compliance, more issues to work with or work through than private companies have. So I think it's critical for humanity, and it's a critical engineering breakthrough. And if you understood that, when you understand that, you're not selling. Right? You're not going to sell.
Yeah.
The only way, if you have electricity in your hometown and someone says, let's turn it all off, you're going to say, whoa, before we turn it off, we better have nuclear fusion in the form of a sugar cube that we can give to everybody so they can light up their house, because otherwise a lot of people are going to die. So I think when you've got something better, then we...
마이클세일러가 비트코인을 대담하게 예측했는데 비트코인 비전이 동전당 1000만 달러에 이른 것. 장기적 가치와 금융의 미래에 중요한 역할을 할 거라는 그의 믿음을 증명하고 있죠. 세일러가 강조하는 구매 및 홀드 전략과 함께 민간 기업이 대차, 대조표를 비트코인으로 바꾸는데 점점 더 관심이 많아지는 방식에 대한 통찰력은 가상, 화폐 영역의 경험, 많은 투자자와 신규 투자자에게 많은 생각을 제공할 겁니다. 크립토7이었습니다.